Hello, you beautiful people. It is Tooth Decay. So we're in the beautiful city of Auckland, New Zealand. We're at the Domain, which is a beautiful natural park. It's just on the outskirts of the city. We're going to have a little wander around here today. Where we're going from, just down there on the left is the main road, and you've got the bowling club, and right over the road there is the city centre, effectively. So we got here Lovers Walk, and it takes you out to a duck pond. It says 5 minutes. It took me a damn sight longer than 5 minutes, but then I probably didn't have the right shoes on anyway. It was a little bit muddy in there. So look, this is like being out in the woods in England, right? It reminded me an awful lot of that, but you've got all of this sort of like tropical foliage. It feels like being in a rainforest. And it's really weird because loads of stuff in there just reminds me of the parks and forests that we go mountain biking in back home. You know, you can see all the exposed tree roots. You can see the, like the compacted mud steps with like just a plank at the front as the riser. Loads of things that are all exactly the same, except you've got all these tropical plants. And it feels like, this happened to me a few times in New Zealand, It feels like being in an alternative universe version of England, where everything is exactly the same, except for this one minor detail that is wildly out of place. So the one thing I will say about this walk is there are a couple of little hilly bits, and you've got a couple of bits here, like I'm coming up to this little bridge over a stream. You want to watch your footing a little bit. It's like I said, it is a bit slippy in there, so wear decent shoes. I didn't have the right shoes on by any means, but then again, I've just been mooching around the city. I weren't really expecting to do this. So it's a good idea to get yourself some decent shoes, nice grip on them. And yeah, look, this is a lovely little walk. I suppose, I took my time, right? And when people came along, I did stop. I didn't want to point the camera in their faces, give them a little bit of privacy as well. So I suppose this took me probably about 10 minutes in total. Where you come out at the other end, you come out to a lovely little duck pond, and there's a cafe there. You can sit down and get something to eat and a drink and a beer if that's what you want. If it's past midday or whatever your tipple time is. You can see there, the ground is pretty uneven. But look, this was just a beautiful, peaceful walk. And to have it right on the edge of the city centre, you can see there the tree roots through. I was looking at that thinking, cool, you're coming down there on your mountain bike, that's going to be well slippy. And a bit further up, for anyone who does a bit of mountain biking, you'll know what I mean. There are like little berms on the corners. So, you could be going around that and scrubbing off a little bit of speeds as you're going around the corner and not having to slow down too much as you go. And you can see there as well, obviously, where the water's come through, it's cut channels out through that ground. And there's a little bit further on where it looks like there's loads of fresh mud right on top. And I went very slowly up that bit. I did not want to fall down and end up like Augustus Gloop slipping down into a puddle of mud somewhere like a big chocolate pond. But anyway, we're just going to mooch on up here. You'll see that everywhere this walk is really well signposted. So every time you come to a fork, it has a sign there pointing you in the right direction. Practically impossible to get lost in this place. And look, this is only one walk of many. There are loads of longer walks that you could do. This was on my first day in Auckland. So look, I'd spent 36 hours travelling, and I got there at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then like the guy who came and collected me from the airport, I was doing a little bit of work with him. He just said to me, right, take the Monday off. He said, just go and sort yourself out. He said, you're going to need to recover from the journey. But I didn't want to sit around the hotel or anything like that, because I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to fall asleep. And I really would have, so I had to get out and do something. So I'd already mooched about 10 miles around the city by this time. And I've been looking for this place for ages, and I just kept going around in circles and getting closer and closer to it. So I've been up by the university sector, been all around Victoria Park, Albert Park, and then happened across this. And yeah, this was exactly what I needed, a really nice, peaceful little walk. And the sort of birds going off in the trees and everything. And when you look up, you look up through the canopy and see the blue sky. I was there in April 2024, which is kind of coming into autumn for New Zealanders, for Kiwis. And I guess, it was probably about 18 degrees that day. But it was like that pretty much all week, to be honest with you. We only had rain on my very last day. We had a couple of showers, don't get me wrong, but it was fine. And I could quite easily walk around in just a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. It wasn't cold at all. But it is getting colder there now. They'll be heading into their winter soon, which obviously is for us, we're going through spring and summer at this time of the year. So yeah, look, no, these steps, they're all made naturally. Again, very similar to what you'd see in the forest in the UK, and that's what I'm saying. It's so similar. And then you just see these big palm leaves everywhere, and like sort of tropical plants. This for me, being a London lad, this for me is what I would expect a tropical rainforest to be like. It probably ain't nothing like this at all. I wouldn't know. I've never been in a bloody tropical rainforest, and I certainly wouldn't expect the pathways there. But yeah, that's what it felt like. It was, it's just a really beautiful place to be. So like I said, we're going to head on up. I'm going to shut up wittering for a bit in a minute. I'm going to cut a little bit out of the ends because I've bumped into hardly anyone on this walk. I think I saw like 2 people all the way up. And then right at the ends, there were these tour guides, and they're like groups of 20 people. And you can see they're not exactly wide paths here. And the bastards wouldn't move. Bloody tourists, they are murders everywhere. You think I'd be used to it by now, going in and out of Westminster and Whitehall, where they all spread out all over the place and walk backwards while taking pictures. Like, get out of the way, man. But yeah, so I did cut it off because I had to battle through, and there was a little bit of swearing going on as well. That's not like me at all. So yeah, I will cut it out just before I get to the end, but I'll show you where I popped out anyway, and then show you the duck pond where there are ducks doing ducky things, funnily enough. And then yeah, the little cafe. And then after that, I just mooched back down the roadway to get back into the city centre. My feet were killing me by then. I can tell you that, folks. I had blisters all over my feet the next day. And I had to go into the office and do a load of stuff for work the next day. There you go. So you got the lovers walk there, and it said going off to a different walk, or you had the duck pond up this way. And I really wanted to go to the duck pond because that's where the cafe was, and I just wanted to sit down and have a cup of coffee and a bit of something to eat because I was done by that time. So right, I will shut up now and just let you have a little look see. Right, so having elbowed my way through groups of ignorant tourists, here I am at the duck pond. Like I said, there are the ducks. Just having a quack. Swimming about, having a look for a bit of grub. Not doing much at all. And then, like I said, you've got that lovely cafe up there. And then, like I said, I popped out over the road there. So I just walked back off down to the right and out of the park on the main road that runs through it. But yeah, that's about it, peeps. Laters, potatoes, off you pop.